Greetings. This is Joe Valenti for Kitchen Table Politics after a long and grueling primary season. It's finally over. We had our winners and we had our losers, and like I predicted, the winners are accrediting themselves for their victory, and the losers, some are blaming me, some are claiming they're cutting everybody, that everybody cut them. They're blaming everybody but themselves, which I guess has been going on since time began. But that's that. A couple things that I do want to know. It's been a long time, at least, 7 months and some odd days since Barack Obama declared victory. And I thought I had good news with Brian Corcoran with buying my breakfast for me. I talked to him on Thursday, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, and he said, hey, I'm at the back door restaurant in Kingston off of Pier Street. Come on over. So I went over there. I thought maybe he'd buy me lunch. Well, lo and behold, he told me he forgot his wallet, and he was having lunch with attorney Greg Fellerman, and he made Fellerman buy me lunch. Then on Friday, I talked to him on the phone. Hey, I'm going to Agolino's. Great, you can buy me breakfast. Well, I'm going to have breakfast with Freddie Pierantoni. Well, lo and behold, he didn't pick up the check for that either. He wants to give me $5 just to buy my own breakfast. Not going to work, Brian. You need to buy me breakfast. So if you see Brian out there, make sure you remind him that he needs to buy me breakfast. Even Freddie Pierantoni came up to me. Hey, did Corcoran buy you breakfast yet? No. So I'm sure Freddie's reminding him. Everybody else is reminding him. Don't let him forget. Since the primary season is over, I'm finally sitting down and enjoying a nice cup of hot chocolate, which is quite refreshing in the middle of May, to say the least. A couple things we have on the site this week. We talk about the city mayoral race with Jason Klush and Joe Keating and Luddy Fleming. Kind of analyze what happened and the negative effect that the flyer that Keating sent out actually affected his base, which I didn't think anything could affect Joe Keating's base, but it did. That negative flyer and the polling that we did definitely affected his base, and how Luddy Fleming fell into that, into the mix. And Luddy said something to me when he was talking about pulling out of the election and throwing his support behind Klush. He says, Joe, I'm going to do the honorable thing. And I have to give Luddy a lot of credit. He handled the exit out of this race with class. And one thing I do want to say about that flyer that Joe Keating did put together, as a small business owner, I took exception with Keating taking Fleming to task on some of his past business practices. It would take somebody who's been on the public payroll forever to criticize somebody for trying to run a small business on their own. Let's leave it at that. Read what I have to say. That pretty much sums it up. We're going to have more on that. I think maybe next week or the week after, we're going to sit Jason Klush down here at our kitchen table, talk a little bit about what his plans are, talk about his transition team, talk about some of his new ideas. It's going to be an interesting kitchen table politics when we bring him up to speed, or he's going to bring us up to speed on what's going on. Coming over to the other side of the river in Wyoming area, as you know, Jerry Wall, the one-term incumbent, lost on past election day to Mike Fear. The thing I analyze with this is the last two elections, two non-native Wyoming area residents won elections. One being Mike Fear, he's originally from Pittston area. The other, Estelle Campenny, she's from Pittston City also. I believe she grew up in the Oregon section. But the thing I analyze is, why did Jerry Wall lose? And I can attribute his loss to a couple things. Check that out. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag where I'm going with that. You need to read that. Have a little fun. Speaking of Fred Pierantoni, have a little fun with Freddie this week. The Republican Fred lost big to the Democratic Fred. And then we kind of wrap it up a little bit more on a serious note that in 2 years there could be 5, even 7 openings for the judicial slot, some spots on the 3rd floor, and how Fred, I hope, is seriously giving it to some consideration to step up to the plate. There's probably not going to be a better opportunity, a better time that I think we need District Justice Fred Pierantoni to step up to the plate and get us out of this mess. So it's going to take encouragement from everybody, including all of you guys out on the street, to give some words of encouragement to Fred. Fred's going to always tell you, I'm comfortable where I am, Broad Street and City Hall. I have no intentions of moving anywhere. But I think in the next 2 years, maybe if we all pull together and show our support for Fred, we can do that. The next thing that I do this week is obviously Pittston area with Ross Scrantino has taken a really big black eye, and we need to change direction, at least of the public relations end of things. And I kind of have fun with that with the football coach. That will always bring change direction. If you hire a new football coach, boom, you're going to bring tons of people out to the school board meetings. And then finally, a couple things we have on. One is from Cheryl Sobeski-Reedy, who wrote in that she had nothing to do with the flyer that was, I believe, direct mail to area voters or residents, whatever it was, that she had nothing to do with it, nor did she approve it. But there's a little something about her. And finally, we have a little note from West Pittston Council President Brian Thornton on Kevin Lescavage. He didn't, in fact, resign from council like the rumor mill was floating around this week, but he just resigned his chairmanship, I think, on the streets, roads and streets. They're going to appoint somebody new to fill that slot, but Kevin, I believe, is going to fill out his term, which should take him through the end of December. The write-in votes aren't in. I didn't get any results yet for the West Pittston Council, but that should be interesting as well. Anyway, to wrap it up, this is Joe Valenti for Kitchen Table Politics. Hopefully this week I'll get my breakfast with Brian Corcoran. I saw him today, in fact, Saturday afternoon at Barnes & Noble's. We were kind of perusing the books. He wanted to buy me a book on Truman. I said, don't waste your money, because I wouldn't read it. Buy me something like a Rush Limbaugh book. I might read that. He kind of rolled his eyes. Anyway, this is Joe Valenti signing off for Kitchen Table Politics. One other thing that I wanted to mention before I do sign off, I've chatted with a few of my close friends and people I hold close to me about having let's call it a PittstonPolitics.com picnic. I'm thinking about renting out a grove, probably maybe in August, charging a nominal fee, maybe $10 or $20 per person, and invite everybody, that reads here, everybody who doesn't read here, whoever wants to come, and have a nice outing for everybody. I think that would be nice. Maybe get Danny Argo to play. That would be really great. Anyway, once again, this is Joe Valenti. I'm going to enjoy some more hot chocolate. This is my Father's Day gift my boys got me, I think 2 years ago. It says, Dad's Parenting Lesson. My house, my rules. And nobody can say that better than my boys, because they know that. Anyway, we'll catch you out there. We probably won't be seeing as much as we have in the past, because everything is kind of slowed down now. The election season is over. We're going to be gearing up for the general. The judicial race is going to be quite interesting. So this is Joe Valenti signing off for Kitchen Table Politics for the week of May 24th. I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day, and please keep in mind all those veterans and everybody who served for us and died for us overseas and abroad and everywhere else that serve us from the, sorry about that, my phone. It's, geez, I don't even know who that's calling. Anyway, we'll catch you out there. This is Joe Valenti. We'll catch you out there. Have a good day. Have a good week. And see you later. Thanks.
I'm gonna get through this. If it's the last thing